Have you ever felt like you're wandering through life, asking God, what is my purpose? You're praying, you're seeking, but it just feels like you're waiting and waiting and waiting some more. Listen, God's plan for your life isn't lost. It's not a mystery that He's hiding from you. So I want you to stay with me to the end of this video, because I'm going to show you exactly what He says about His purpose for your life and how you can start walking in it right now. But before we jump in, I want you to make sure, subscribe if you want more faith-building content like this, and drop a fire emoji in the comments if you're ready to step into your purpose. So one of my favorite scriptures is Jeremiah 29:11, and it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." God knows the plan. And that means your future isn't random. It's not guesswork. The blueprint for your life was written in heaven before you were even born. In Psalm 139:16, it tells us, "All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." But maybe right now it doesn't feel like that. Maybe you're in a season where things aren't moving and you're wondering if somehow you missed God's plan. And if that's you, I want you to keep watching, because I'm about to show you exactly what to do when you feel stuck. So I know one of the hardest things to do is to wait on God, right? Waiting on God is hard. And maybe you've been praying, but nothing seems to be happening. So I want to be, just for a moment, I want to be real here that, waiting is not wasting. It's actually preparation. If we think about Joseph in the Bible, he had a God-given dream. And before he ever saw that dream come to pass, he went through being betrayed by his own brothers. He went through being sold into slavery. He was falsely accused and thrown into prison. But listen, Joseph wasn't waiting in vain. God was positioning him for something greater. So your waiting season is your training season. It's where God builds your character. It's where He sharpens your faith, and He prepares you for what He's about to do. Okay? So you may feel like you've been waiting forever. And if you're thinking to yourself right now, "Yvonne, I hear you, but how do I actually know God's plan for my life?" All right, well, stick with me. Let's talk about how to recognize God's leading in your life. I want you to know a truth. This is something, a truth that you need to hear right now. God's plan isn't way out there, okay? It starts with what's already in your hand. If you remember Moses in the Bible, when God called Moses, remember, Moses felt unqualified, but God asked him, "What's in your hand?" And it was just a staff, but that simple staff became a tool for miracles. So I'm going to ask you, what's in your hand? Are you great at encouraging people? Maybe you're called to lead or mentor. Do you have a passion for writing? Maybe God is calling you to share your testimony. Do you love serving? Maybe your purpose is to bring healing and restoration to others. See, God isn't asking you to figure it all out. He's just asking you to start where you are. And when you step in obedience, He reveals the next step. And it's like this continual, you take a step, He reveals something more. So I used to struggle, and I still do, but with fear a lot, okay? I had fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, fear of what people would think about me. And I'm not saying I don't struggle with that still to this day, but I can tell you I'm not where I used to be. The Bible tells us in 2 Timothy 1:7, it says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." So hear me, if fear is keeping you from stepping into God's plan, that's a clear sign that the enemy is trying to stop you from walking in your calling. And you don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to take the next step and trust that God will guide you the rest of the way, okay? It's to literally walk in faith. God will lead you through it. So how do you know? How do you know you're on the right path? Okay, God will speak to us, and He speaks in various ways, many ways. And He will speak to us individually, uniquely, but He speaks through His Word. So if there's anything that contradicts the Bible, it's not from Him. He will speak through prayer. He will speak through wise counsel. God will place someone in your life to confirm His plan. He even speaks through dreams and visions. And yes, He still speaks this way to this day. In the Bible, in John 10:27, it says, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." That means you can hear Him. You just need to tune out the noise and listen. Be still. Get still in a still place. Okay, and I want you to do two things right now. I want you to, if this is spoken to you, I want you to comment below, "I'm stepping into my purpose." Okay, put that in the comments. I want to pray over you personally. All right, then number 2, I want you to hit that subscribe button if this encouraged you today, because I'm going to be continuing to share and pour out more faith-filled messages like this to help you grow and step into all that God has for you. And I'm going to leave you with this. You were made for more. You were created for a divine purpose. You're not forgotten. God is leading you, and your best days are ahead of you. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.